Welcome to the most incredible Top 10s YouTube channel. In this video we are going to talk about the top 10 unusual prisons. So before starting this video, like this video and subscribe to the most incredible Top 10s channel for future updates. It's a bit like playing the lotto when you're in prison. If you rob a 7-11 in one city, you'll spend your time in prison working out in the yard and avoiding the showers as much as possible. If you rob it in one location, you'll be punished with 10 years of insane behavior. Prison can be strange at times. Strange, to say the least. Here are 10 of the strangest prisons. Number 10. The Holiday Prison, Norway. If you're going to do time, do it in Bastøy for the love of God. You'd be excused for thinking this rural Norwegian prison was a holiday resort, with almost minimal security and plenty of recreational facilities. But you'd be wrong. Bastøy is home to murders, rapists, and other nefarious characters you wouldn't want to hang out with. Despite this, rooms have writing desks and flat-screen TVs, no bars on the windows, and professional cooking classes are provided in the jail kitchens. Norway's court system appears to be lacking in, how could we say it, justice? To be fair, there's a lot of logic at work here. Bastøy is a prison for bad guys who have shown some potential in terms of rehabilitation. The plan is to bring them here and assign them tasks that will help them reintegrate into society. They are also responsible for the care of baby cows. You heard it correctly. Killers in Norway are given cute animals to care for. Strangest of all, it actually works. The re-offending rate in Bastøy is the lowest in Europe. Number 9. The Dark Knight Rises Prison, Rwanda. Remember the prison in which Bane threw Batman halfway through The Dark Knight Rises, the one that was essentially hell on earth? Meet its real-life counterpart. Rwanda's Gitarama City Prison is nothing more than a dirty hole in the earth. Unfortunately, that hole is currently filled to a capacity of more than 20 times its original size. As a result, there has been an inconceivable amount of suffering. Mass infections are rampant, and malnutrition is a common occurrence. There have even been stories of inmates eating each other to keep alive, and that's before we get to the general conditions, which include standing room only, human feces carpeting the floor, and inmates' limbs actively decomposing on their bodies. This is the one location on earth where you don't want to be. Number 8. The Custom-Built Prison, Pitcairn Islands. The Pitcairn Islands are a network of islands in the Pacific Ocean's desolate wastelands that are home to as few as 60 people. When it was found in 2004 that 1 out of every 10 islanders had been involved in some extremely nasty behaviors with underage females, justice realized it had been stuck. Pitcairn, you see, doesn't actually have a judicial system. The residents are descendants of the Bounty mutineers, and no one knew who had sovereignty over the islands. Britain eventually stepped in and agreed to prosecute, at which time it became clear that Pitcairn lacked any kind of prison, and they'd have to build one. So, in 2006, the United Kingdom dispatched a group of contractors and jailers who were tasked with constructing a prison from the ground up, incarcerating 10% of the islanders, and then guarding them until their release a few years later. The islanders are currently planning to convert the now empty prison into a cafe or yacht club, a move that appears to lack vision. Number 7. The prison with its own golf course. By and large, the Louisiana State Penitentiary is an uninteresting location to serve time. It's violent, has a chair, and a nasty history. It does, however, throw something at the inmates that most jails would never consider: a freaking golf course. LSP is possibly the only maximum security prison on the planet with a custom-built golf course. And it's not the only perk for convicts. The structure houses a radio station, a printing plant, a television studio, and an airstrip. In a nutshell, it's like a perfectly functional metropolis, but one that's swarming with violent criminals. To put it another way, it's like the future New York in Escape from New York, only with a little more golf. Number 6. The prison with its own mental disorder. Imagine a prison that treats inmates so inhumanely and psychologically that it has its own syndrome named after it. Now, where do you suppose such a horrifying location may exist? Try the United States of America. Solitary confinement, SHU, is a division of Pelican Bay State Prison where inmates are forbidden contact for 22 hours a day, confined under fluorescent lights away from the sun, and only allowed to exercise once a week. As you may anticipate, the findings aren't pretty. SHU syndrome is a condition that is reported to be similar to post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, which is commonly observed in war veterans and disaster survivors. So keep this in mind. Kids, if you're going to go drunk and steal a traffic cone, make sure you're not under Pelican Bay's jurisdiction. Number 5. The TwoMan Prison. Sark is a small island located between the United Kingdom and France. It has a population of less than 600 people, and was the last place in Europe to abandon the feudal system in favor of democracy, holding its first elections in 2008. It also features the kind of strange, eccentric prison that you'd expect from a semi-empty British colony stuck in the past. For starters, it resembles a public restroom. For another, it's teeny tiny, as in minuscule, as in the size of a comedy prison. The only place on the island where drunks can be housed, and it can only hold 2 individuals. As a result, it is officially the world's tiniest and stupidest prison. Sark, I congratulate you. Number 4. The hilariously corrupt Mexican prisons. Overcrowding and cruelty are common in Mexican prisons. That is, however, only one side of the story. The other is that, because to the system's often hilarious levels of corruption, Mexicans have the most pleasant prisons on the planet. Officials discovered a hidden lottery among Sonora state inmates in July 2011 to win a luxurious cell with its own fridge, TV, DVD player, and air conditioner. As odd as this is, it pales in comparison to what a surprise inspection in an Acapulco prison revealed. Officials discovered and we quote 100 plasma televisions, 19 prostitutes, 2 sacks of marijuana, and 100 cockerels for cockfighting, according to the BBC. Number 3. The Naked Prison. An enforced stay in Chikurabi Prison, Robert Mugabe's legendary hellhole on the outskirts of Harare, is not amusing. Disease, squalor, and violence are rampant here. Temperatures regularly drop below 0 degrees, and convicts have been known to go up to 2 years without seeing the sun. None of this, however, compares to the most bizarre part of all. New inmates are frequently obliged to spend nearly a year entirely naked. Kevin Woods, Michael Smith, and Philip Conjuelo were arrested and imprisoned in 1988. They were compelled to do everything but naked for the first 18 months. They were denied blankets or even a rag to wrap themselves in when the temperature dropped below 0. It's unclear how or why they eventually obtained clothes, but we've yet to watch anything worse than spending 1.5 years naked in a brutal African jail. Number 2. The Glory Hole Prison. Mpimba Prison in Burundi, like most African jails, is a depressing environment. People are held indefinitely there. Infants are born and die within its confines, and abuse and harassment are all too typical. One of the oddest boundaries in existence stands in the midst of all this extravagance. The wall that runs across the center of the prison was originally built to keep male and female prisoners separated. But it has since been carved full of holes. The concept is that the inmates form a line on either side of the wall and release their stress through it. As a result, the female population has an alarmingly high rate of pregnancy. Guards, on the other hand, do nothing to discourage the behavior, sometimes even using the wall themselves. So, yeah, it's a working glory hole, right in the center of one of the world's most overcrowded prisons. Number 1. The Pirate Paradise. The Republic of Seychelles is a little island paradise off the coast of Africa that is one of the world's tiniest countries. The majority of its revenue is generated by tourism, with Russian oligarchs and prominent stockbrokers paying up to $4.500 per night to stay in the island's homes. The Republic, however, is home to a special pirate jail, which was designed specifically to house Somali pirates. Some of the world's most ruthless hijackers spend their days quietly sunbathing and awaiting trial amid banana plantations and on benches. According to a BBC correspondent who visited, the facility is essentially a utopia, with the captured Somalis having a free prolonged vacation on an island that most of us can't afford to visit. So there you have it. All you have to do to spend 3 months relaxing in one of the most gorgeous places on earth is become a pirate first. What do you think about this video? Do let us know down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.